Today we're going to be making salmon in dandelion sauce. Basically, we're going to be frying salmon in like a clarified butter. We'll be adding a dandelion sauce with fresh dandelion greens and a cream reduction. To go along with that, we'll have wild rice pilaf, which is basically a braised wild rice with carrots, onions, and celery, and it's actually going to be cooked in a fish stock that I have already prepared. One of the things we're going to have today is to drink is maple sap, which is basically straight out of the maple tree. For our snacks, we're going to have a roasted beet salad and pickerel cakes. And for dessert, we're drinking grain pancakes with gluten-free flour and carrots, parsley, and wild rice. So when you're walking walking through the kitchen or walking where there's anyone that's in danger of being cut, always carry your knife like so, and let people know. Got a knife coming through. Just keep everybody safe. Nobody gets cut. Just keep it tucked in like so. Okay. When you're cutting them, you should always, with any of the vegetables that you're working with today, we should always use cut them the same size if they're cooking. Reason being, you don't want to, when you're eating your rice after, you don't want big chunks and little chunks. The big chunks won't be cooked, and the little chunks will be like mush. So, when you start, you should start cutting so that they'll all be roughly the same size. So they're basically all the same size. Okay. When you're using a knife, you should always use your fingers like this. When you're holding something, basically what you do is you just want to slide the knife down your fingers as a guide. That way you won't lose them. So, just holding it like so. And another thing too is actually fold them down so that the flat side is down. They won't roll on you. So once again, they're about the same size. See how I did that? My hands are clear. Just where you want it to cut, and just pull it through. Keep the tip of the knife on the board, that way it doesn't slide around on you. Yep, just bring it, yep, push it all the way down, yep, then just pull, there you go. Yep, yep, there you go, yep. What they talk about is with that maple sap is interesting because it's like the original Gatorade. It's full of all these electrolytes and like all these vitamins that a lot of people say you can't get anywhere else. Little tidbit, I guess. When you're looking at it and you see, you have them in the oven, you don't know if they're quite done. You can touch them with your fingers or whatever. I bite them, or I'll eat one. Yeah. It's funny. It'll taste like dirt when it's not done, but as soon as it's done, that dirt taste is gone. Really? Yeah. So, yeah, you find out the hard way. Take the potato, and we'll cut it like so. Cut it in 3. Always making sure your fingers and everything before you even put your knife on it. Make sure you got a nice hold on it. So you take it like that. See how I'm using the square side down so it doesn't roll on you, okay? And then come across, little cubes about so big. Okay. All right, yep, so you can look after that.
The same size as the ones you just cut now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep, yep. He's got it. I'm going to start the rice if everybody wants to watch. It's kind of interesting because it's different than the wild rice is a lot different than the white rice. Basically what we start off with is some butter. Let that melt.
How much butter was that?
That was probably about 2 teaspoons.
Okay.
Yeah. The difference being with the wild rice and the white rice is that the wild rice takes it's 4 to 1, as opposed to white rice, which is 2 to 1. So this recipe I just actually worked on 2 days ago because I've never done it this way before. I just want to try it out because a lot of times what people do is they'll cook the rice cook the rice separate, and then they'll make it into their rice pilaf. But this way, I think that a lot of the nutrients are kept into it if you just cook it all in one shot. Yeah. So, and what I have here is I made a fish stock to cook the wild rice in. Basically, fish stock because it's going with the salmon, so you wanna have that. Fish stock is actually taking fish bones, carrots, onions, and celery, and what you do is you boil it for about maybe 45 to 50 minutes, just same as chicken or beef, you know. But the reason I wanted to talk about the fish stock is there's a difference between fish stock and a fish broth. Well, basically all the ingredients that, like beef, chicken, and fish. A broth is more cooked in meat, where a stock is actually cooked in bones. So there is a difference there. So okay, you can hear the butter already for the vegetables. It's got that nice sizzle. So these are all the vegetables we cooked. We cut up. So basically, what you want to do is just kind of throw it in there and mix it up a little bit. Okay, so to that I'm going to add a cup of the rice. Yeah. It's actually called braised rice. So if you know your cooking terms, braised is actually cooked in a liquid, but it's actually sautéed first.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So this would be the same as actually like making like a Swiss steak or something like that, like a braised steak. You would cook the meat, and then you build up. Yeah, you build up all that flavor, and then you add the liquid, and then basically you're making a gravy, right?
Right.
So another thing too, when making a stock or anything, never add any salt to it.
Why?
When you, it's the same concept as maple syrup, really. You add salt now. You add a teaspoon of salt, and when it's actually done, it has the flavor of, 4 teaspoons or 5 teaspoons, right? So it's actually pretty important to cook with salt. Like it actually enhances the flavors.
I have a tendency to add salt after, but not during.
Okay, so the rice has been cooking for a little while. I'm just going to add some stock to it now. So it's four. So it's 4-to-1 for the ratio for that.
So 1 cup of
1 cup.
1 cup of rice.
and then 4 cups of stock or water.
Well, you can see it on here, the lines on it.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, there you go. This one here. Just taste it. It's not quite done yet, but I don't know if you can get that earthy taste in there yet. Yeah. So a couple more minutes. Like it's actually,
That's a good test.
Yeah. That's a good way to know. Like this is. I'm just adding some fish stock. I'm gonna heat it up, and we're going to poach some pickerel fillets in there. Just gives it that extra.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little. So to cook the pickerel cakes, we're using clarified butter. Clarified butter it actually sounds kind of intimidating, but it's really not. All clarified butter is taking the butter and heating it up so that the milk solids separate. Milk solids separate, and then what you have left is just the raw butter. And the reason that they use the clarified butter is that it has a higher smoking point. So that meaning vegetable oil has a smoking point of like 450 degrees, and butter is maybe about 180. So when you clarify it, it actually increases it. So you can use it and you can cook stuff and have more flavor, have that butter flavor, without having the butter burnt.
Right.
You need some onions, right?
Yeah.
Put the lid on it, and I just want to show you, you can see the difference between the oil and the vinegar.
Yeah.
Okay, so mix it all up and see what happens.
Really mix it.
Okay, so how's it look? Just give it a second. What I want to show you is how actually it'll go back to that. It'll separate, yeah. And the reason a lot of the salad dressings that you see, a lot of them have a mustard in there. The mustard, what actually does, it brings it together and it keeps it together. It won't break. You can actually keep it in your fridge for about 3 or 4 days, like if you make your own vinaigrette. And it'd be nice if, you know, like when strawberries come out, wild strawberries, make your own strawberry dressing. You know, same recipe, just add some stuff, just play around with it, make your own dressing. So this is the fish stock with no salt.
That's a half a teaspoon.
Little, yeah. And this is the one just boiling, just brought back up to temperature, with
How
just
many is two gonna make?
with just a little bit of salt in
How
it.
many is two gonna make? One teaspoon.
Wow,
You need
big
one and a
difference.
half.
Big difference, yeah. And you look at stuff like that too when you're buying like canned soup and stuff. Like, I probably put in maybe 2 milliliters of salt, whereas if you go and look at a can of prepared soup, where it's actually like 25 milligrams of salt.
Really?
Yeah, so you know that'll feed a family of 4, or you know what I mean. Like, and
Right.
so the salt that you use is very minimal. It may look like a lot, but it actually enhances the flavor in all the foods.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it wasn't salty at all. Though,
No,
but it
no.
did-
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
flavors.
yeah. Different. Yeah, just different things you can add. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to add the pickerel to the poaching water or stock. You don't want it boiling. This is more of a boil. With the poaching, you actually want it at about 140 degrees. So it's not boiling. It's just rolling over nicely. So these are just some
When
nice.
you got the skins on,
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that'll add more flavor too. But when we cook it, we're gonna cook it and we're gonna cool it off, and then what happens is we'll take take all the meat off,
yep.
and that's it. Oh, I got one more here. Okay, so this is the butter. We melted the butter, and this is all the milk solids here. It's actually like almost like ice on there.
Solid.
Yeah, so you just kind of scrape this off here. That's all just the milk fats, or whatever. Milk solids, I guess. It's just, and then what you're left with is that clarified butter. Yeah, so
And that's got all the flavored butter, but
Oh, yeah.
it's got a higher.
Smoke point.
higher smoking point. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So you get all this stuff out, and that's what actually burns right there. And
That's what makes it stinky.
yeah, yep. Mm-hmm. Good night, Joe.
I don't want to do it as a job. I just want to be able to stay home and cook for food for the house.
Does it taste different now?
Mm-hmm. Come and try it. Yeah, it's done. It's actually starting to caramelize a little bit because all the sugar's in
You
there.
know what caramelize means?
Pardon?
Sweet or they taste
Oh yeah. Was
Caramelize
this for
means
the
they're
pancakes?
starting to
Okay.
get sweet.
A lot of all these foods that we're preparing today is really amazing. The amount of health benefits from eating like the wild rice, all the fish, all the omega-3s in there. So if you want to go ahead and continue on that, and if you see a little piece of skin, just pull it off. Okay. Get a plate. I'm gonna make up that beet salad. So you just want to mix it all up. There's some flaxseed in there, also good for your omega-3s, immune system building. Just kind of mix it up like so. Low for fiber, yes. So we got all that in there. It's just enough to coat everything. Put it on a plate, like so. That's okay. And that's it. That'll be one of the snacks. Say 65% fish, 35% potatoes. So if you want to so this bowl here is good. Just maybe fill this little portion up here with some potatoes and just throw that right in.
I love the fact that you cook with ratios and not.
Yeah.
Not measuring.
Well, it's easier that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's all repetition, making it all the time. Yeah, just maybe
Mix it up?
mix it up. And what I'm trying to get is like just like a
Like a paste.
more like you're making meatballs.
Okay.
How's that? Okay. That looks good, yeah. Fit right there. So
That's
1 ounce.
okay.
So just kind of, you can just make it ball it up, maybe get another plate for it or something. So I'm just gonna fry some of the ingredients for the pancakes. I have some clarified butter, and I have all my ingredients over here. Diced carrot, parsnip, and I'm just cooking it ahead of time because I want to add it to the, I want it to cool off before I put it in the pancakes. Reason being, I don't. What happens if you add hot ingredients to the pancake batter? It'll start to cook it, and it won't stick after. So here goes everything.
He doesn't like vinegar.
So, give me a hand. Just kind of break these off. Just kind of break them off where they start to. So everything is cooked in here. So all you want to do is just all you have to do is just give it a little bit of browning. You don't have to. You don't have to worry about it being cooked. Is every pot in the house dirty, or is there one more? Is there one? Oh, okay, we can dirty them all. Yeah. No, just kidding. So basically, what you do is you just clean the long stems off the woody stems of the dandelion greens, and you just want to. All we're gonna do is just kind of saute them and cook them down a little bit. So it's just like anything else. Like it may look like a lot, but once it starts cooking and everything, it's
like
gonna.
spinach.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's probably gonna be just enough to cover the bottom. But
What
that's
did you put in there? Is there any butter or anything in there?
yeah. Use some of the clarified butter again.
This house.
No. Okay. So against the vinegar, what the vinegar does actually, it actually brings out the green, it brings out the color. Yeah, yeah. It actually, a lot of things, like even if you make like a navy bean soup, a little bit of vinegar, you know how when you cook it, it kind of turns like a gray color? You put a little bit of vinegar and it'll bring it up to a white color.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the beauty of that is everything's all cooked.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it, you're done, you know, it's got that flavor in there.
Did we find a new way to eat fish?
Heck yeah. Oh.
So you just want to make sure you got some nice hot. Well, I use the clarified butter again. I've been just using it with everything. So,
Yeah.
but
So is that better to cook with than like an olive oil or sesame oil, just because of the smoke point?
for flavor, yeah.
Yeah.
Like yeah. Some oils like I guess it depends on what you're making. Sometimes you want that neutral oil,
Yeah.
like the salad dressing.
Yeah.
Use the canola oil, but you can use like different kinds of you can use olive oil. You can use a balsamic vinaigrette. But there's so many ways you can alter it just to make it fit, right?
And a cup of not these guys.
That's it. That's it.
That's the first time I've ever had that in mine.
Making 4 quick pancakes. So you have the wild rice, the parsnip, carrots. So just gonna make a savory pancake.
That was really good. Really good. I never had dandelion leaves before. The way it was done was amazing. And the wild rice too. The flavors of it were amazing though. Yeah. And so was the salmon. Yeah. My thing that I actually liked the most of was the pickerel cakes. They were awesome. Yeah, it's good. Real good.
Savory pancake with wild rice, turnips and carrots, maple syrup, and a little bit of butter. So we went through. We made all the recipes that we had. We had the salmon with dandelion sauce, and it was good to see the interaction with the family making all the food. The family got to sit down and eat everything and enjoyed all the food that they had made, and I think it was a real success. Thank you.